Yo, what's up? This is Juno Beats, and in this video we're going to deconstruct how His and Hers by Internet Money, Don Toliver, Lil Uzi Vert, and Gunna was made in FL Studio. Alright, so credit where credit's due. This beat was made by Cxdy, Nick Mira, Taz Taylor, Pharaoh Vice, and Alec Wigdahl. Basically the same people who made the infamous Lemonade song, with the exception of E True, I think was replaced by Cxdy on this one. And for those of you who are new to this channel, I always try to do this in the beginning, just grade myself for accuracy purposes. So this one I think we got decently close, minus the guitar, of course, because I can't play. Sorry. 92.5, think it's alright. Lastly, here's some more deconstructions I have on the way for you guys, so make sure you subscribe and don't miss it. So here's the intro to the beat. Okay, so for the intro, I actually did get my friend to play me the guitar, but the recording process was never finished.
I'm recording it now. I'm still recording it. Oh. Still recording.
So there are a couple counter melodies running throughout the song, mostly in electric guitar. I assume Nick Mira or Alec Wigdahl or somebody played this on an actual guitar and just added effects. We're just going to use a couple plugins to recreate the same sound. So for the first one, we are using Nexus, the Splits and Sequences Solitude preset, and here are the notes. The second plugin we're using is Serum, and we are using the PD D-Pad preset. Same notes. And together, both Nexus and Serum sound like this. And for effects, just added some reverb, took out some frequencies and gave it some wider. And right before moving into the next section, there is a repeated sound effect that comes in throughout the beat. It is the Nick Mira signature effects. You can find this in his Magma drum kit. All right, so on to the bridge. In this bridge, I actually did try to make my own guitar version of it myself. It's so much harder to plug in the notes. So in order to replicate the guitar, it looks like a lot, but I basically just used two plugins. One is the AGML guitar plugin Lite, which is a free version, and DSK Dynamic Guitars. So here are the notes I have for all of these. As far as effects go, we are just adding some reverb, using Stereo Shaper to just move them more to the sides, adding some RC Retro 20 Color, the Distorted Bright Tubes preset, a vocal doubler, and Fruity Panomatic just to have it bouncing in between the ears to give it some more width. So in this bridge section, we have a bass line coming in that comes in other times in the song. For this, we are using the Silent One BS Tube Bass preset. And in this bridge, you have your claps, your open hats, and your hi-hats coming in. As far as the clap, we're just using a basic clap. And the snare that comes in is kind of quiet, pretty common one, you can find it in some trap kits. But overall, here's the pattern that the clap and the snare play. For the open hat, I just layered two together, one from a Cymatics drum kit called Tight Open Hat, as well as one from DT called Smite. Together, here's the pattern that they both play. All right, and for the hi-hat, I'm using a Cymatics Blitz hi-hat, and here's the pattern for that. And you'll notice right before the drop, the clap and the hi-hats cut out. All right, so on to the drop. In this drop section, we're using the same guitar pattern, like that just plays throughout the song. In the bridge, none of the frequencies are cut out, like the guitar is very clear. When you have the drop, I have a low pass filter being automated, but when the drop hits, you'll notice that it's only about 50% effective, so not all the frequencies will be completely cut out. And later on in the song, you'll have even more of the frequencies cut out. Like that low pass filter will be 100% effective. So also going on in this drop, you have a very subtle hit sweeper type effect. For this, I just use one from Cymatics, the aerial impact sound effect. It's pretty subtle, but if you listen closely, you can hear it. For this drop, we have a different counter melody coming in using the same Nexus and Serum preset. And altogether, the acoustic guitar with the counter melodies together sounds like this. So for the drums, now we have an 808 and the kick coming in. Altogether, drums sound like this. So for the 808, I think I found one that sounds fairly similar. I'm just using a Young Chop 808-7. I shortened this a bit by tuning the out knob, and here's the pattern for that. For the kick, we are using one from Nick Mira called the Toronto's kick. Here's the pattern. And lastly, right before going back to the bridge, we have one more counter melody coming in. For this, using the same Nexus and Serum preset, here are the notes. During the section 2, we have a low pass coming in, cutting out a lot of the hi-hats and snares. And the last thing we need to discuss about this Deconstructed is just how they mix and mastered it. Looking back at a KC Supreme tutorial, who's also a member of Internet Money, I watched one of his tutorials about how they mix and master, like just from the very basic level. So I used the same plugin that he showed in that tutorial, Ozone Advanced 5. Alright, I think that is it for this Deconstructed, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful and you learned something. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I do a lot of these Deconstructeds, and going forward, I'm trying to do more. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.